You don't need to wait anymore, right? There's no reason to. If you have not felt right, you know it. If you've had a blood test, whoopee-doo, right? And if you've been trying a lot of things, by the time women find me and the information that I have, you've usually done a lot of stuff, right? This isn't your first rodeo with it. So I'm not going to tell you to be like, oh, eat some Brazil nuts. Oh, you're not sleeping and you're super stressed? Try some melatonin. No, that might not be what you need. What do you need? We have to find out, because it's not helpful to start applying certain things that are not right for you. Hey there, welcome to the Female Health Solution podcast, where we discuss women's health, hormones, and everything else in between. Join me as we dive into the tools that you need to live your healthiest life. If you've tried everything and you still feel terrible and you're not sure what to do, this is the podcast episode for you. I am Dr. Beth Westy, women's health and hormone expert, host of the Female Health Solution podcast. And we're going to talk all about today where to start and what to look at when you're like, I don't feel right. I am exhausted. I am moody. I feel like garbage. I've gone into the doctor for this and that. They either don't run labs at all. I'm not even sure what to look at sometimes, or maybe it's my thyroid. I looked up thyroid and I thought it was thyroid. So I asked about running a thyroid panel and they said, oh yeah, we ran thyroid, but they only ran a TSH. And then they told me things were fine. And then I walk out of there feeling like a nutball, but still nothing changes. Nothing changes. I'm glad you're here. This episode is for you, my friend. This is the most common thing that I hear. And anytime I go over a lab with someone, the number one thing that I hear is, oh my gosh, this is so validating. I also hear people, they're like, are you stalking me? How do you know that? And I'm like, I'm not stalking you. I would not be a good stalker. I am very large. I'm 6'2". I'm not sneaky. I am an Amazon of a gal. I am not sneaky enough or quiet enough of a person to be a good stalker. Okay. I read your labs. I'm reading your labs. I'm reading what your system is doing. We look at a Dutch test. We do GI mapping. We do food sensitivity testing. We do genetic testing to see what is the function of your system right now and what are you prone to. And I have a program where I work with people one-on-one. I have different levels of a program. Sometimes people work better in a group situation. Sometimes it's better to have that type of support. But for some people, that is not helpful, right? You've done group programs before. You've tried group fitness and working out with a trainer and all these other things, and it's led you nowhere. So here's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to tell you to start taking a certain supplement. I'm not going to tell you to start a certain workout or that you just need to not stress about things. Seriously, if it was that easy, everyone would do it. Oh, just don't be so stressed. Don't be so stressed. Oh, okay. Okay. Duh. Right? Are you kidding me? It is. If you are watching this, right, you've already done the things. You've already exhausted all the options that you know what to do, right? Of the things that you know. What you're looking for is what you don't know, right? You don't know what you don't know. And it can feel maddening because, right, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, hoping for a different result. So when we look at your labs, though, and start there, we're starting with what your system is really doing. That is, I want to say, the magic of what we do that's so different than so many other things. So many other people will tell you, oh, just don't eat carbs, get more sleep, make sure you're hydrated. It's not bad information. It's just not helpful. It's not helpful. If you have adrenal fatigue, if your adrenals are totally burned out, you are genetically not a good detoxer and not a good methylator, right? And then you have, let's say, some H. pylori or something in your gut, meaning every time you get more stressed, your whole body swells up. You get a lot of gut disruption. You get bloated. and you're like, ugh, I feel like garbage. And now I feel sluggish and I have more brain fog. Ugh, I just don't feel the same day to day. Some days are worse. Some days are better. What is wrong with me? There are very specific things we do to target that versus, oh, you don't have H. pylori and it's a candida. It matters. It matters what you are struggling with. It matters the things that you have tried to improve your health and whether or not they've worked. And what to do when you're stuck. What to do when you're stuck. Stop trying a bunch of new things. Stop jumping on the next bandwagon. Stop reading new books or listening to another expert on this or that or whatever. Right? I mean, I will give out generalized information. And if you even if you're like, I listened to you on this and it didn't really help me. I know, because that means that whatever you have going on is unique to you. It's like a lock that you keep trying all these keys, but you just haven't found the key yet for that lock. Again, you're not doing it wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just that we haven't found exactly what's happening. And what your system needs is specific support. So, can you do all the things? Can you make sure I'm eating clean and I'm exercising and I'm getting good sleep and I'm taking these supplements and da 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 and I'm trying this, that, and the other? Great. Is it working? If it's working, super duper. If not, stop spinning your wheels, because all you're doing is burning yourself out more. All you're doing is burning yourself out more, exhausting yourself, and then feeling terrible about it, feeling worse about it. There was somebody I talked to this week. We had gone over her Dutch test several months ago. And this was a point where, she had gone through the holiday season. Some stressors had popped up there. So she had been doing a little bit better. And then we had to shift some things to navigate the stressful holidays. There's a whole situation with the family that she has to deal with that she's like, once a year, I have to do it. I just can't, whatever. I'm like, okay, we navigated that differently. And she was worried that because the improvement she'd had initially is if she tried like everything, like as hard as she could flip and try, that was the amount of improvement she'd had at most in the last like 10 years. And she had it right away. And she was like, well, here we go. And then now I'm going to be stressed again. So I'm not going to get anywhere. And then that improvement is going to go down again. And I'm not going to have any improvement anymore. And then that's it. And I was like, nope, we're going to navigate this differently. We're going to support your system differently because of what your adrenals are doing, because you've been nutrient deficient. You really have to make sure you're getting enough of these nutrients in, right? And she was able to get through it. She didn't make improvements, but she didn't backslide. And now she's improved again overall, making a huge jump. And she's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is so amazing that I feel this good. I haven't felt this good in probably 10 years. And she goes, I can't believe I waited. I can't believe I waited to take the Dutch test. I can't believe I waited to do this type of testing. I know, right? And she's like, I wish I would have done it a year earlier. Yep. Yeah. You don't need to wait anymore, right? There's no reason to. If you have not felt right, you know it. If you've had a blood test, whoopee-doo, right? And if you've been trying a lot of things, by the time women find me and the information that I have, you've usually done a lot of stuff, right? This isn't your first rodeo with it. So I'm not going to tell you to be like, oh, eat some Brazil nuts. Oh, you're not sleeping and you're super stressed? Try some melatonin. No, that might not be what you need. What do you need? We have to find out, because it's not helpful to start applying certain things that are not right for you. So what we do is we start with all the testing. Now, in this level of a program, you get that very customized support. That's so important. That way you're not being led down the wrong path, or anytime something flares up, you get that guidance. Anytime you struggle, that is what I am here for. You're not left out on your own. We're not just going to be like, oh, here you go. Here's your results. See you later. Nope. We are going to make sure that every step of the way, you are getting support through your nutrition, supplementation, lifestyle recommendations, anything else you need, right? Whatever your schedule is, whatever your goals are, that's what we target. So doing Dutch testing, GI mapping, food sensitivity testing, genetic testing. And then what about other testing? Do we redo those tests? Yes, we do. We redo them after enough time has passed to see and compare, oh, how are you doing? What's the side by side here? What's improved? There is nothing that is more satisfying than understanding that, oh my gosh, I'm feeling better. This has changed. I can see the results different in myself. My periods changed, all that stuff. And then to see those labs improve. I love it. So if you've done everything, if you've tried all the things, if you are stuck and frustrated and you're like, I just can't imagine starting one more program, what does a program look like for me? This type of, guidance that you get, it's not cookie cutter. I don't have a program for that. It's built for you because that's the type of support that you would need. And it goes off of what your level of support needs to be, meaning what your labs are showing us. Is it going to be worth it for you to try and include a bunch of probiotic stuff for your gut? I don't know. Haven't seen your gut report. I'm not going to ever give you something to do if it's not going to make a difference. So go below the video, click the link, learn more information. If you have questions, let me know. But this type of support and guidance is so, so, so valuable overall that it really helps you move forward so that 6 months from now, a year from now, you're not in the same place. If you've been struggling for a long period of time and you're sick and tired of it, time to start. So you'll be so glad you did. You'll be so glad that you learned all this information about your system. And then from here moving forward, you know how to target this from here on out. So that's what I got for you today. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I will see you later. Thank you for joining me on today's episode. If you would like more information, just head on over to drbethwesty.com for all the show notes and information from today's episode. And if you're looking for more community, more support, you can find and follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and I would love to see you there.